I spent 28 years being replaced, until I realized the pattern was not bad luck, it was design. Would you stop looking for love if everyone you trusted kept choosing someone else over you? I still remember the sound of suitcase wheels dragging across hardwood. Tuesday afternoon. Rain hammered the glass. My mother did not look back. She walked out and left a 7-year-old staring at empty space where her coat hung. The silence was heavier than any shout. My father filled the quiet with work hours and takeout boxes smelling of cold grease. I sat at the kitchen table and drew families holding hands. I drew myself in the middle. I thought if I drew it enough it would become real. But then something changed. When I was 8, he brought home a woman with a smile that stopped at her lips and a daughter exactly my age. They called it a fresh start. I called it an erasure. I watched my father buy new furniture to replace what my mother chose. He bought me clothes that felt stiff against my skin. But the worst part was the photos. Every Christmas, every birthday, I looked at the frames on the mantle and saw myself cropped out. Sometimes my shoulder was cut off. Sometimes I was blurred. My stepsister stood front and center. Her smile was bright. Mine was shadowed. I thought I was imagining it. I told myself I was being sensitive, but the feeling of being second choice settled into my marrow like a chill I could not shake. I grew up learning to make myself small. I learned to speak quietly. I became an artist because I could control the frame on canvas, even if I could not control the frame in real life. I painted portraits of people who looked like they belonged. I used colors that screamed because I could not speak loud enough. I spent my 20s trying to find a place where I fit. I tried to be invisible so I would not be removed. That was when I knew. A few years ago, I met him at work, 30 and confident. He laughed at my jokes and held my hand in public. For 3 years, I thought I had finally found someone who saw me. He told me I was the only one. We talked about a house with a garden. I let my guard down for the first time in 20 years. I believed that I was not replaceable. He brought me coffee in the morning. I saved those messages like they were evidence of my existence. But then something changed. He started canceling dates, family emergencies, mother sick, car broken. I heard the hesitation in his voice when we spoke. His voice fractured. I stopped calling. I waited for him to reach out. The texts became shorter. The emojis disappeared. I felt the distance growing like a weed choking the soil. I told myself love required patience. I washed his shirts. I cooked his meals. I made myself useful so he would not leave. I thought if I was helpful enough, I would be indispensable. I thought I was imagining it. Then my sister started texting him late at night. I saw the glow of his phone screen when he thought I was asleep. The blue light bleached his skin. I did not say anything. I waited. I wanted to be wrong, but the pattern was too perfect. It was the same slow erasure I had lived through as a child. First the distance, then the replacement, finally the exclusion. I felt the air leave my lungs every time I saw them in the same room. They shared looks that excluded me. I was the third wheel in my own relationship. That was when I knew. The feeling hit me at dinner. It was supposed to be a family gathering. My father, my stepmother, my sister, and him. I sat across from them, feeling like a ghost at my own table. Candlelight flickered and cast long shadows on the wall. My sister was laughing at something he said. It was the laugh I used to hear when he told me I was special. Then she lifted her hand to push her hair back. The light caught the diamond on her finger. It caught the light like a warning. The sound of her silverware clinking against the plate cracked like a bone. But then something changed. I realized I had seen that ring before. He had shown me a picture of it months ago. He had asked me what I thought. I had told him it was beautiful. I thought he was saving up for us. I thought he was planning a proposal. But the ring was on her hand. My father looked at me and smiled. He said they had news. My stepmother clapped her hands. The sound cracked like a bone. I felt my stomach turn to lead. I felt the room spin. I gripped the edge of the table until my knuckles turned white. No one noticed. No one ever notices. I thought I was imagining it. The truth landed hard. Realizing my mother left me, my father replaced me and my lover chose my sister. It was not bad luck. It was a design. I was the placeholder. I was the practice run. I was the person they kept until they found someone better. The exhaustion hit me. It was not anger. It was not sadness. It was a deep, heavy resignation. My shoulders dropped so low they ached. I looked at my plate and I could not eat. The food tasted like ash. I looked at him and he looked away. He could not meet my eyes. He knew what he had done. He knew he had completed the cycle. That was when I knew. I decided to stop seeking love. I decided to plan a single life. I looked at the faces around the table, and I felt nothing. The cycle of neglect had broken because I stepped out of the circle. I will not wait for someone to choose me. I will not wait for a seat at a table where I am always the extra chair. I plan to adopt. I want to give a child what I never had. I want to give them certainty. I want to build a home where no one gets cropped out of the photos. I want to be the parent who stays. I want to be the constant. I will fill my house with art and laughter and safety. But then something changed. I ask myself if it is healthier to stop seeking love to avoid pain or continue risking rejection for connection. Is it bravery to keep trying, or is it bravery to stop? I look in the mirror, and I see a woman who is whole on her own. I see a woman who does not need to be cropped out of a photo to make someone else look better. I am 28 years old, and I am done being replaced. I am done waiting for permission to exist. I am done apologizing for taking up space. I will fill the silence in my house with my own voice. I will not let anyone else define my worth. I thought I was imagining it. Would you stop looking for love if everyone you trusted kept choosing someone else over you? I want you to know that you are not alone in feeling replaced. I want you to know that walking away is not failure. It is survival. I am building a life where I am the priority. I am building a life where I am not an option. I am building a life where I am enough. The pain is still there. It sits in the corner of the room, but I do not invite it to sit at the table anymore. I am the main character of this story now. I hold the brush. I paint the picture. I choose the colors. That was when I knew. The house is quiet now, but it is my quiet. I paint every day. I fill the canvas with color. I do not leave space for anyone else to crop me out. I will build a family on my own terms. I will love a child who does not have to compete for my affection. The pattern ends here. The design is mine now. I am not a placeholder. I am the final draft. I am not waiting for a ring. I am not waiting for a seat at the table. I am building my own table. I am buying my own ring. I am choosing myself. I am free.
Hello, I am Dr. Julian Reed. We are observing a profound case of relational displacement. It is not merely infidelity. It is a systematic erasure. When a partner chooses a sibling over the original subject, they are not simply seeking novelty. They are seeking continuity without consequence. He kept the family connection, but discarded the emotional responsibility. This behavior mirrors the paternal rejection experienced in childhood. The father replaced her with a stepsister. The lover replaced her with a blood sister. The pattern is not coincidence. It is a conditioned expectation of abandonment. You must understand that her pain is rational. It is not hysterical. To be chosen second is painful. To be chosen second by the same genetic pool is devastating. It suggests she is inherently disposable. The former partner knew the history. He knew the fragility of her position within her own family. To engage the sister is an act of aggression disguised as romance. It tells her that her specific identity holds no value. Only her proximity to the family unit matters. He wanted the access without the intimacy. He wanted the home without the homeowner. Now consider the decision to adopt. To break the cycle, this is a defensive fortification. She believes love is a resource she cannot claim, so she will manufacture connection on her own terms. She plans to parent a child who cannot choose to replace her. Is this healing, or is it surrender? There is a dark comfort in controlling the rejection. If you never seek a partner, you cannot be replaced by one. But you also cannot be found. You become the architect of your own isolation to prevent others from demolishing the house. The moral question remains for all of us watching. Is it bravery to stop seeking love when the world has shown you only pain? Or is it the ultimate tragedy to let the wounds dictate the future? If you stop looking for connection to avoid the pain of replacement, do you save yourself? Or do you simply complete the work of those who hurt you by removing yourself from the equation entirely? The ex-boyfriend replaced her. The father replaced her. If she replaces love with safety, who is left to hold her when the silence becomes too loud? I ask you, is safety worth the silence?